Somebody needs a gentle reminder on their worth. Because the energy surrounding whoever is feeling called to this reading, it's not that it's low vibrational, okay? But it's gray, is the way I like to put it. There's an energy of you feel like you've fought hard enough, and maybe it's an energy of throwing in the towel. Throwing in the towel. Have you decided that there's something that's not meant for you anymore, or maybe has served its purpose, or you're wondering, it's collective, so maybe some of you have been put into a moment of no silence with a relationship, etc. There's so many ways that this reading can go. It doesn't feel like just a love reading at all. There's multiple ways where this can go, but the surrounding part is the sense of gentle reminder of your worth. Shift your perspective. You are not alone, paired with the I am protected by Source. A lot of you have gone through a complete release. I know we're always releasing and shifting timelines and accelerating, etc. All right. But in the past month, there was, for the past month, you went back and forth from having moments of feeling complete community to complete isolation. I mean, the past month has been a mix of feeling united and alone. Something that this entire experience has taught you, though, no matter if this is love, a whole way of life changing, a career change, however it resonates, one thing, through all of the chaos, you've been protected. Even in those moments when you don't understand what's happening, it's happening for you, not to you. And you may not, some of you here may have already seen the full picture by the time of seeing this reading, or still in the midst of it, for why this specific reason, why this specific thing you had to go through. Okay? You asked for strength, and Spirit has to give it to you by not testing your strength, but by pulling the muscle. How do you get stronger? You have to tear muscles, and then the rest, the recouping, is what actually forms the muscle. When you are going through walks of life, when you're having spiritual awakening, when you're making your decisions, that's working out your mental, but your abilities, your freedom of will. When you harness your spiritual abilities and don't question them and don't let the ego and etc. get in the way, that's you practicing with them. But that's the thing, the gentle reminder. That time frame when you are having to be pulled up from the well, or when you really feel like you're being tested, those aren't the moments the strength is being made. Those are the moments that you're being made to go through it, to be, in a sense, teared, broken, so that you can go and restore. Everything you're going through, Spirit wants you to remember, do not make any fast reactions. When we're going through that trauma, it's tearing, it's hurting. When we're going through hearing what we don't want to hear, it's tearing, it's hurting. When you go ahead after receiving certain forms of news or decisions, etc., and you sit either by yourself with your group of trusted people or your guides and really use discernment on why this is happening, the correct way forward, that's actually where your healing and all of your strength to continue forward comes from. A lot of you here definitely felt like they had to, is it give something up? No, it's not give something up. It's like there was a creativity, there was a thing like, as this thing served its purpose. So if this is career reading, it's about, man, this job doesn't challenge me anymore, or I don't feel valued. If this is about love, if it's about love, there's definitely a sense of, for a long time, your love picture had been painted a certain way. So that either means you had been single for a while, or you've been in a relationship for a while, or something within your dynamic of how love has been a staple thing for you lately, it evolved. What I see is there's been no creativity taken from you. This was because you've been given a whole other set of colors, if you will, to even make a more beautiful picture. It's a progression. You're not taking this canvas and painting over it. You have another blank canvas and you're going to use this one as inspiration or to look back at, to make and to upgrade the first picture to begin with. If you've recently gotten into a relationship, if you've recently broken up with somebody, etc., because your collective text resonates, it really does feel like this next phase of your life, you're going to be in calm waters when it comes to your emotions because of all of what you just had to unpack. The past couple of months brought out of you inner teenager healing that you did not realize to the depth that you needed. You probably were like, I know I'm still working on my inner teenager. I'm still working on my inner child, etc. But the depth of your faith in releasing control was tested. Not in a way of pass or fail, but was tested to see if you can progress. Can you take on more? Because to take on more, there had to be certain aspects of your mindset, your code, and the surrounding people that had to alter. Forgiveness brings freedom. This world is blessed to have you paired with your mind. Your mind is an altar source of energy. Yeah, the way we think about things, the way we think about things affects it. Now, we have freedom of will, everybody does. If you, just because, and I'm meaning it this way, and this such a stample, like, boom, boom, what I'm about to say so you can understand. Just because you think somebody's bad doesn't mean they are. Just because you think somebody's good doesn't mean they are. Just because you see good attributes of a person doesn't mean overall they couldn't have malevolent will. Or just because you see kind of like I guess I'm trying to find the way to the yin yang of what I just said. You see somebody with like cocky personality or maybe some self-conceited type of actions doesn't mean overall they're just this selfish person. You are seeing, I'm going to give people understandances for who they are, but never excuses for how they treat me. A lot, if you feel like there's been some bridges burned, the only bridges burned were the ones that were meant to never be passed to go back to again. Everything that's meant to be restored is being restored. Everything that's meant to be advanced is being advanced. Everything that's needing to be created now can be. Because you're no longer focused on all those bridges that you were taking tools, okay? You had a mindset, you had a way of life or a person or a job, however it resonates, that you were constantly taking new materials to go back to try to keep it working when it was a spot that you truly didn't even need to cross anymore. It was just, you were so used to it for so long. That's how things work. Okay. Spirit had to show you forward. All of these materials were giving you this knowledge, this understandance. We need you to adapt with that and utilize that for what is coming, not what was. You have forgiven yourself, others, and everything in between for everything that's happened in your past. Because forgiveness, and this is not selfish to say, this is the reality. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is so you don't hold the feeling and the intentions that others and yourself built up during all those times of trials and tributes, of trauma, etc. We do forgive others for them because they're human, but it's for ourselves as well. It's a yin-yang. The ones that surround you do see you as this inspiration. The ones that see you as a tyrant or try to take your kindness. It's an interesting channel message. Let's see. Your mind is an altar source energy. Okay, I get it. Your mind, well, because of the abilities you have and because your ability to make predictions, you're still human. And when you have an emotional reaction to something, it's always going to be harder to really keep what I call the parasite, the mimic, the thing in your mind that wants you to stay in negativity, starting to cling on to actual truths and predictions, okay? Because when you don't have an emotional reaction to something, and you can just have a clear channel, you can predict things. You can feel and see things that others aren't. But if you have an emotional reaction, right then there's going to be a disturbance. Your ego, your insecurities, everything will start to alter visions you are receiving or downloads you are receiving. That's why I always tell people, if you're a reader, if you read your own cards, etc., and if you ever choose to read for somebody that you have a deep emotional connection to, you need to make sure you both are in a complete, well, at least the channeler is in a complete state of balance. And that you don't do it often, channeling for people you have deep emotional connections to. What I see is for a lot of you, you are worried about a boss, how they're perceiving you, how a new job could be perceiving you, how another person could be perceiving you in either a form of romantic, platonic, family, etc. A lot of you were building so much energy and you realized, I'm done giving comparison games. Your inner teenager does not feel like you are comparing yourself to others anymore. So what do we got out of this reading? The energy that they're saying for you to show. Facing my shadow removes darkness from the world. That is literally like the essence of this. It's not pretending like things are perfect. It's not feeling that being mindful is shits and rainbows. Being mindful, being gentle, a gentle reminder to yourself is remembering everything you have gone through, embraced, prevailed, and continue to do. Gentle reminders are making you see that your humbleness, your gentle abilities came from all of the pain that you experienced. A gentle reminder is that you're safe. There is not anybody who is... Spirit says put absolutely nobody in your mind as you versus them. If there's anybody in your life, and this is where it goes into making that source is the mind source's energy. If there's somebody in your life who sees you as them versus you, or as competition or whatever, you let them think that. You don't allow that to become your universal truth. It doesn't matter. Even if you are receiving that message about somebody. If they do not have a connection to who you are truly, to your personal life, it doesn't even matter what they think. It doesn't even matter the channel you're getting. You may sometimes be picking up on insecurity when it comes to thinking that somebody else sees you as competition or you versus them. These are collective things that resonates. You can pinpoint a part in all of our lives, okay? We can all pinpoint a part in our life where we could have thought somebody was meaning something they didn't, or we knew somebody meant something pretty malicious or negative, but you so bad wanted to believe they didn't mean it, so you would gaslight yourself, or etc. What I'm saying with all of this is that whole process going either way. At the end of the day, does you thinking so hard about it change whatever's going on in that person's head? No. It's all about how you see the situation that affects your reality. You are embracing your shadow work. Shadow work is something we'll always bob and weave out of, is what I like to call it, but it doesn't mean that you're always falling. Spirit says the last thing about this is calling back your power. Constantly calling back your power, I like to give a good example, is like think about like your phone. You can get the best phone for your battery, or you can get the best battery for your phone. It could be, hell, who knows, it's one of those chargers that lasts like 48 hours. Eventually, no matter how strong it is, you're going to have to recharge it. That is calling your power back. I love to use mundane examples to make people understand vastly greater things. You must see your own life force, your own power, as a battery. So the gentle reminder today is to let yourself rest. The gentle reminder today is to remember it's not you versus anybody. The gentle reminder is it doesn't matter how other people see you. Another gentle reminder, though, is knowing just as we should not care about comparing ourselves to other people, my universal truth is to never compare yourself to your past self. But hey, take what's best for you. A lot of people have different ways of being moral supports to their own selves. I ain't here to press down on anybody else's if they feel like there needs to be a more callous energy or like a hardened energy, etc. about that. I get it. There's times for that, but I feel like most of the time when our heart when our mind is in a state of getting you into comparing yourself to somebody else, your heart's actually craving your own validation. The biggest thing is to remember you're human. And every day you are going to continue to call back your power. And every day you're going to continue to restore yourself. Sleep, eat, drink. Obviously, those are the most important things, but like be mindful about them. Sometimes we just go on autopilot. I'm going to sleep. This is what's in my fridge. I'm going to eat it. This is what's in front of my face. Be mindful about the way you're thinking about everything. Even if you're having a stressful day, being mindful does not mean, oh, if I try to focus on all of the bad things that are happening around me, I'm just going to promote more in. That's not that's not how law of attraction works. You can acknowledge what's going around, and it's the way you choose to go about it and how much you let it affect you. A gentle reminder is to know your own boundaries and limits. A gentle reminder, keep looking at this one, is that your sensitivity is a fucking gift. That's literally just talking about. And honestly is the best policy. There's always a time and a place to tell people certain things. And the biggest thing to remind you of is when you have found the correct time in all aspects of life, friends, romance, business, etc. When you find those pockets of time where it's meant to talk about the nitty-gritty or the things that hurt, those are the make it or break it moments. If you can see if you and a person are going to continue whatever walk of life you are doing in this life together, if you're locked in with each other. You're seeing the world in a very different light. And you're understanding what parts of your universal truths are continuing to upgrade. That's what I got for y'all today. Now we're going to talk about the Bali trip. So, June 2025. My second trip is already set up. It's going to be in Bali. It's going to be a beautiful healing experience. It's very, very casual. Okay, the Colorado trip that I have actually next month is high active. But this Bali trip is very, very calming and just a healing, comfortable experience. There's going to be so much to unpack. And it's going to be 7 days. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to send me an email at contact@offprintmint.com. But the main thing for you to go look at is the trips page site. So the trip website is linked in all of my social media platforms, all over my personal website, offprintmint.com. If you, again, have any questions, I highly suggest you go ahead and send me an email. And also when you check out that page, so you can see that there probably is still a couple of those early bird discount spots available. All that is needed now to claim your spot for the Bali trip is a down deposit of 25% of the total cost of the trip. Even though the trip is all the way in June 2025, I highly suggest if you want to go, you claim that spot. From now all the way into 2025, you can make split payments to this trip. It does not have to be paid up all at once. So, you want to claim that spot, have that peace of mind, go ahead, put that 25% down deposit on the trip, and go from there. Any questions? Don't hesitate to reach out via email. That's what I got for y'all today, and I'll see you when I see you. Let's get it.